Ma'am, you're not audible.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
All right. Okay. Good evening, everyone. And it's a privilege and a pleasure to be chatting with all of you. And I really want to thank Mentor Mitra for giving me this opportunity. And like I said, this is one platform where I love, to be invited on and to kind of interact with all of you. And today I'll be talking about self-esteem. I think it's a very, very important topic. And I wouldn't just say during these times because, these times are unprecedented, I know, but it's there. I think, it's been there for ages. Self-esteem is a challenge, or self-esteem is something that needs to be worked on, or something that has to be talked and developed, right? And this is something that is not in fashion or will go out of fashion after a certain period of time. Definitely not. Yeah. So this is something that is absolutely, absolutely needed. So if we look into a dictionary meaning of self-esteem, self-esteem is, it just means confidence in one's abilities, right? How confident are you in your own skin, in your own abilities, in the way you think, in the way you interact. It could be a lot of areas that we're probably going to be covering today, right? But it just talks about just holding yourself. When we look up to someone and we say okay, or let's say somebody is a doctor and is a very successful doctor and he's helped you and your family. Suddenly one would say, I really look up to him in very high esteem, right? So that's exactly what self-esteem also, when you look up to yourself in a particular manner, that's what self-esteem means. And obviously there are two kinds of self-esteem. One is of course high self-esteem, where you're very, very happy with who you are, you're very confident in your abilities. And the second is a low self-esteem, where you are not too sure, there are too many doubts, there are too many insecurities that are happening, and you probably don't know exactly your abilities, or you're not very happy with where you are. So hence that leads to a low self-esteem, right? So we'll talk about different areas, and we'll obviously also talk about, like if we talk about challenges, we would definitely be talking about solutions today. And my very, very favorite line that I always love to talk about, and something that I love to use on myself, is also that there is nothing that can't be worked on, right? Everything in this world, almost everything, right? Almost everything is something that can be worked on, could be developed, right? Could be improved. We as human beings have such amazing capabilities and capacity that once we identify a certain thing, we can definitely try to improve on the same, right? So like I say, everyone, right, irrespective of your age, your gender, it could be anybody in our life, have had doubts about ourselves, whether it would be our abilities, whether it would be the way we look, the way we talk. It could be anything. Those doubts are always there, and it's not age specific. Somebody even at a middle age or older age could have those creepy self doubts coming in and gnawing at you and troubling you, in certain areas of your life, because we are surrounded by too many things. There are people, there are relationships, there are goals, there are targets, there are aspirations, there are expectations, right? So there are lots of things that are always around us, and we always have this kind of sometimes these kind of feelings as to how, why, when, how capable I am, right? When is it that things are going to get absolutely fine for me? So a lot of those things come to us. Now let's look at different areas where these challenges could be, things that really affect our self-esteem. One, of course, could be our physical appearance, right? I know youngsters today, and especially with all the social media and the things that we have around us, this is one big thing, right? I just recently was interacting with a mother, and her daughter is probably just in class 2, I think, and suddenly she came back home and she said, "Mom, I'm too dark, and my why don't you let me grow my hair? My hair is, why do you always cut my hair? I don't look good with cut hair. Girls are supposed to, I want those long hair." And the mother was really disturbed, as to how did she get this feeling of, that I'm very, very dark. I'm very dark, right? So I don't know. It could be anything else. I'm just giving you an example of a life, of a interaction which I just recently had with a young mother, right? So it could be physical appearance. It's, it's my hair is too long, my hair is dry, my skin is like this. I wish I was a little taller. I wish I was a little slimmer, right? Um, it could be so many things, and especially like I said, in today's world, where the pictures are there, social media is there, we feel we are constantly judged, or there are lots of things that we kind of compare with, right? There are like I said, we aspire towards something, and then we expect too much out of ourselves instead of others expecting out of it. There are too much expectations from ourselves also. So this could be one big thing, one big area. And I remember growing up myself, when of course there wasn't social media, there weren't pictures, selfies that were taken, but you reach that awkward stage in your age in your life, and you just feel you're not, you don't, you, and because you're not too aware of who you are, and I'll talk about, it's just not your appearance, it's the sum total of who you are. So when you're not aware of that, you have too many doubts about your physical appearance, and that obviously to a very, very large extent affects your um, self-esteem, right? Then our communication abilities, right? We always feel, I hope I'm communicating, or, sometimes it could be the language problem. Sometimes it could be the way one is, speaking. Somebody is a very clear communicator. Somebody is like a little introvert, or probably, they're not able to express themselves too much. And then, hence those challenges starts coming in, that nobody understands, nobody's trying to make a, is trying to understand, or the inability of to clearly express as to what you're feeling also could then over a period of time create a little bit of a could be a little bit of a challenge, and hence would affect the self-esteem. And then of course our efficiency and our skill sets, right? I'm not, we grow up listening to too many no's in our life, right? When we are growing up, our parents don't tell us intentionally, but it's very easy. Don't touch that. Don't do that. Don't do this. No, 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 no. There are too many no's around us, right? And hence we start, doubting ourselves from a very, very young age, very, very young age. And, that affects our efficiency. And sometimes, the skill sets that are required for a certain thing, right? We are always, it's very, very easy to kind of admire somebody else, but at times we are very harsh with ourselves, right? So that again, because we are judging ourselves constantly, now that affects our self-esteem as well. Could be our family interaction, right? Could be, usually what happens in a family interaction is that, there are some people, who sometimes, because you're so close, because they are seeing you day in and day out, they've seen your, they see stuff, and we get to hear certain things that, also kind of, lower our self-esteem for ourselves, right? Could be because of maybe probably be our habits, could be a lot of other things, but we get to hear stuff which I don't think, is something which is very, very, and it does happen in some families. Did it happen in my family? Yes, it did happen. Did I happen to hear a lot of that stuff? Yes, I did. Did I need to really work on my self-esteem? Yes, definitely, most definitely. In fact, a lot of people will probably say, how things happened and how they actually picked themselves up and they worked on their self-esteem, right? So yeah, family interaction also, sometimes it happens. You get to hear a lot of stuff which is not good, which is not good for your self-esteem, right? Maybe right at that moment, somebody said it with the right intention, but that just leaves a little bit of a dent in your mind space or your heart. And, you start judging yourselves. And again, there's a saying that says that, if we actually hear ourselves speak to us, I mean, would you say that whatever that you're telling yourself is very, very good? Or do you think you're like really, really criticizing yourself, right? Because if we were to hear the thoughts, we would probably feel that nobody actually says those things that we say to ourselves. So your self-talk also at that point of time becomes a little negative, because of that interaction. And because of that, of course, the self-esteem again starts, it affects our self-esteem, and you start thinking not too good about yourself. Limiting beliefs, right? So, this is another major one. Yeah. There are certain things that we feel we limit ourselves, right? This is the only thing that I can do. This is what I'm good at. I'm not good at that, or this is what I can do. This is what I can't do, right? Or they could be, this is how it should be done. This is how it should be, right? So the moment we start using should, those are limiting beliefs, right? Because there's nothing like should. Everything like, if you look at this year, this year has taught us so many things. This year has taught us, never in our wildest imagination actually could have imagined something like this happening. So what should have happened did not happen in 2020, right? And that what should not have happened actually happened, and things totally changed. So, we can't limit ourselves in today's world. We are living in such a dynamic, volatile world today, whether it's anything, it could be the economy, it could be the health scenario, it could be anything. It's so volatile and dynamic that nobody today can be, nobody can today succumb to limiting beliefs, right? And this is something that we really, really need to work on, is our mindset, right? Because a lot of that mindset also causes us to not really explore different possibilities, different areas, and hence limit ourselves. And because we are limiting ourselves, it definitely affects our communication, our interaction, a lot of other things, and then leads to low self-esteem, a lack of personal development and growth. This is again a big one, right? A really a big one, because life is a process of continuous growth and development. The graph has to, keep going up for personal growth and development. And today, there's so many things available. There's so many webinars that happen. There's so many podcasts that are there. There's so many talks that are there. There are fantastic ebooks that you can go through. There's so many biographies that you can, go through. There's so much of good content also in these OTT platforms also, apart from just the usual entertainment and all. We just need to kind of, but that will only happen if we are, kind of looking at it, if you are searching it, if you're seeking it, right? That's how it's going to happen. And how much time do you keep for yourself on a daily basis? We have about 15 to 18 hours. How much time do you keep for your self-growth and your self-development? Because what goes here, actually, everything is here. The self-esteem, all those things that we feel, all the insecurities and doubts that we feel is all here. So what are we doing? We feed ourselves 3 times a day. We are very particular about, I didn't party today, or I didn't do this today, or I didn't do that today. But how particular are we talking about, about feeding something here today, which is apart from your curriculum, apart from your books, right? So that becomes very important. And then lack of success habits. There are always certain habits. This is one webinar that I would love to do, which is successful habits, right? Because habits make a person. It's habits that make a character, right? So lack of those habits, and we keep working on different areas. We keep thinking, why this, why that, why somebody judging me like this, or other things, and we just forget that maybe we need to work on certain habits, certain success habits, which will help us to move ahead in life, right? And then, of course, procrastination. There are big webinars that happen. People register for those webinars, which is, on procrastination, because this is an epidemic today, right? Procrastination is really, really, apart from the pandemic, we also have another epidemic, which is procrastination, because we like to always, kind of delay certain things, right? And, I read a book which said that, it's like eating the frog. I'm sure some of you've heard this phrase, that, if you feel there is something difficult, uncomfortable, or, something which is uncomfortable, and we keep delaying it, eating the frog means do it the first, do it as quickly as possible. So once you've eaten the frog, you're fine, because that's what was troubling you, right? So I also feel this, and something that I've worked on. So whatever were my challenges, whatever that I thought I should delay, I'm not comfortable, or certain things that I was not addressing, I just got into a habit of doing that first. Let me get over with it, and then let me work out my entire day, after that. So procrastination is a big one, because the moment you start procrastinating certain things and not addressing them and delaying them, it's a big pile that just keeps building up and building up and building up, and then you're still delaying it, not addressing it, and that kind of just brings you down. And whatever brings you down will definitely will affect your, your feel good factor, will affect your procrastination. Will affect your self-esteem, right? So yeah, these are, I'm just touching on these in all points are actually a seminar on themselves, right? They are something that can be spoken on, but I'm sure you're getting the point. I'm sure you're getting the message behind it, right? So these are certain challenges, right? So how do we work on them? How do you build your self-esteem, right? So there is a saying that is, no one can make you feel bad without your consent. Yeah, you need to understand that very, very nicely, that nobody can make you feel bad without your consent, right? So, we don't have to get too bothered about what other people are saying. And we're going to be talking about this in how to build your self-esteem. I'm just talking about there are certain areas that could lead to our challenges, could lead to those challenges of having a low self-esteem. Now, how to build your self-esteem? One is, of course, affirmation. So once you know that this is a challenge, and I think it's a challenge with everybody. So once you know that, okay, I need to work on this, right? Because there are always two kinds of people. One, very happy, very confident, positive. You go into a party, and they'll be talking to everyone, and they'll be very happy. And it's not that they'll be the most good looking or the most people. They'll be absolutely the best, wealthy, blah blah blah, the usual things that we think. No, they could be anybody, but they'll be very happy, and they'll be friendly, and it'll just set the, when they enter somewhere, the whole crowd will kind of go towards them because of the positive vibes that they have. Then there might be another person, who would come, and would be a little withdrawn, not very open towards other people, waiting for other people to say hello. This person didn't say hello to me, or this person is not interested in me, and would just stand in a corner. So there are two people who have gone into a party. One is really, really enjoying himself or herself, and the other person is not. And it's the same party, it's the same environment, right? So what really makes the difference here is the points that I talked to you about, there are certain things that we feel for ourselves. Now, how do you build your self-esteem? Is by affirmations. Positively writing about what what are the areas of concern? Is it communication? Is it physical appearance? It could be anything. So how about writing that I'm really, I'm confident, and I'm very happy, very, very confident, and I have a very pleasing personality, something like this in front of the mirror, right? I just heard this interview of Anil Kapoor, the very famous Bollywood actor. When he was doing a particular film, there were these younger co-stars who were saying that, this person is really, he would go in front of the mirror and look at him and say, amazing, very handsome. And, he would just go in front of the mirror and just give himself a compliment. And, somebody asked him, he said, why do you do that? He said, when I entered into Bollywood, I was this very thin, bearded, not very good looking guy. And they were these conventional, very, very good looking Bollywood heroes, right? And he said, I just needed to pump myself every day. I needed to tell myself every day, that I was good looking, I was really good, and I could actually survive, and I could actually be successful in the film industry. And I thought, what an amazing example this is. Why don't we do enough of that for ourselves? Why don't we ever go into the mirror and say, oh, I'm so pretty, I'm so beautiful. I love my hair. I just love the way I talk. I just love the way I look. Right. And you need to compliment yourself. So, every day, at least give 3 compliments to yourself. Stop waiting for people to compliment you. How about giving compliments to yourself every single day? And also your affirmations. Can you write down 4-5 affirmations for things that you really would want, to kind of get better in your life? I'm a very good communicator. My home atmosphere, I'm always loved and encouraged by my family members, right? I am very, very good at my work. I'm very good with my studies, and I'm aiming and I'm striving towards getting some very good marks, or I'm aiming and striving to meet my goals and my targets. See, everything in life has to be worked on. Remember my statement, there's nothing in life that cannot be improved or worked on, right? Then of course, be committed to your self-growth, right? So, like I said, there are lots of things that you could be going through today, lots of podcasts and webinars and, things like that. And then of course, improve your efficiency, right? So can I have a slide earlier, please? Just one before that. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so you just need to be more effective, and more effective is something that you just need to work on, right? This is something that you need to strive towards, isn't it? And I think all of us in life are moving ahead and striving towards better things in life, right? So could it be, it would be initiative. I was in an HR with a multinational company, and the one parameter that we always wanted to look at in a new candidate was initiative. So apart from their work, are they doing anything extra, just a little bit more than what it is? Because that's the kind of person that every corporate would want to hire. So initiative is a very, very big thing. So initiative is something that you do beyond, what your work is, just a little bit more. So are you doing it with your friends and with other people also? Because you need to inculcate this habit. Not procrastination, we've talked enough about it. Better planning. How about better, have better planning, for your day or for your work? Because if you're not planning too well, it is said that people don't plan to fail, but they fail to plan in life, right? So how about doing this in a much better manner? So if you have a day and you have there's certain things that you're working at, have you fixed certain time slots for that? Very important, very, very important, right? And habits, inculcating the right habits. And like I said, this is a complete webinar on it itself, right? And then of course your mindset, very important, the kind of mindset that you have. What kind of a mindset you need to have, right? Okay, so mindset could be, of course, we have to move towards positive, we have to have positive mindset, but also a mindset which is very open to listening to people's feedback, and kind of gaining something from every conversation that is happening, or being very it said always having your antenna up to kind of pick signals, to kind of know what it is all about, right? So can I have the next slide? So if you have to do that, I mean, are you open towards maybe, like I said, when we talk about mindset or we talk about efficiency, could you just get a little better at whatever that you're doing? So let's say if you're very good with with playing guitar or with music, right? Are you really looking at honing your skills there? Or it could be, for somebody, it could be learning a new language, right? Or if you're really interested in sports, learning about some new things, or reading or learning a little bit more about the sport that you're interested in, something that will give you a little bit of an edge there, right? That becomes very important. Stay away from negativity and negative toxic people. There are some people who will always bring you down in life, right? They will always say stuff, and just stay away from negativity. It's just not worth it. And especially from negative toxic people. I know somebody would had a kind of a his friend, and he was listening to a lot of stuff from his friend, and a lot of times you youngsters will feel, oh, friends don't have to say something like this, they don't say something like this, but you will be surprised, sometimes. And because that this person was more in emotional need of that friendship, actually got down to listening a lot of stuff from that person, which was not very good for his self-esteem. So stay away from negative. If you have to break certain ties like this, go ahead, do it, because it'll be worth it. Because what is most important is, because you can get more people, you can develop better friendships, but what will be very hard to develop would be to just get back and start putting a worth on yourself and developing that self-esteem. Family interaction. Right now, we have a small game in our family. I have two boys, and we always say that, sometimes, of course, parents are parents, and, children will be children. And of course, there will be certain things that will always happen. So we always use this statement, where something is said, we say, okay, let's rephrase this statement. So it can either come from the boys or it can come from us, right? Let's rephrase it. Let's rephrase it in a sense that we are addressing that challenge, but we're addressing that challenge in such a way that the other person probably thinks more of it as an improvement tool rather than a discouraging statement, right? So can you address this in case there is somebody in the family who is kind of affecting your self-esteem? Can you address this and say, okay, can we rephrase it? I know I have to work on myself also, but let's rephrase it and making more like an encouragement thing. And be open to feedback and constructive feedback. Sometimes we will I have a lot of people who come to me and say, oh, tell us, what we really need to improve. And there are lots of them who will probably not want to listen anything about themselves. They will only want to listen to the good stuff, and then they will not want to listen to anything else. So don't be like that. Be open to that feedback and that constructive criticism. I don't even like to use the word criticism, because criticism is when you're really critiquing somebody. I always want to talk about it as a feedback, right? So, it has to be a constructive, you have to listen to it as a constructive feedback. Don't get emotions into the way, because, again, today I'm talking about a lot of, lines that I picked up from here and there. There is this beautiful line that I picked up from one of my mentors, and she said that if you're too sensitive or you're too emotional about, a lot of things, you will not really have, you will not be able to influence anybody, because all the time you'll only be worried about, getting affected. So the less you are affected by things, the more influential you can be with other people, right? So if you're very sensitive, number one, people will stop giving you feedbacks. Even your friends will stop giving you feedbacks. They'll say, no, you're too sensitive. You can't handle it. Number two, and if you're not getting the feedback, you will not have enough chance to work on yourself, right? And the only way we can grow and develop is by that positive feedback, and be open and have a sense of humor, laugh about it and say, oh, I'm working on it, but be open to that. And then finding a mentor, somebody that you can really speak to about the darkest secrets, about your darkest, doubts that you have for yourself, and somebody who's just going to listen and not judge you and give you a solution to that challenge, right? So I think that is very, very important to do. And always remember that, you're a sum total of a lot of things. You're not just one. You're not just how you look or you walk or you talk, or your interactions. You're a sum total, right? And, and always remember, there are certain things about yourself that you will never be able to change. It's just about getting comfortable about them. And, and also, your self-esteem is also, greatly improved when you are, when you have these very, very endearing qualities of, number one, thinking right. You're always thinking right about somebody else. You're planning well in your life. You're disciplined about certain areas in your life. I don't say discipline like an army discipline, right? But there has to be a certain amount of, process or a discipline in your life, because that will always make you feel good, right? And always pay it forward. Even if you have an opportunity to do even a little bit of a good for somebody, just pay it forward. Just give it to somebody, and it'll just come back to you many, many fold. And whenever you do one good deed, I think if you do one good deed a day, that feeling that comes by doing it, that feeling, that amazing feeling of, doing something, it just makes you feel very, very nice. It improves and increases your self-esteem like anything. I think the sure shot way of ensuring and feeling good and, getting up your self-esteem is by doing something good about someone, right? Just go out of your way sometimes to just do it, or one good deed a day, right? And like I said, have a sense of humor, and always remember and always be open to possibilities. We are not trees. We are not planted somewhere. There is always a possibility to grow, to move, to improve, to learn, to kind of develop ourselves. And always remember that self-esteem is a process. It's a process. It's not something today I'm going to work on it and by tomorrow it's like there. It's a process. It's a process that needs to be worked on regularly. But just keeping these things in mind and improving certain areas that you feel can be improved, and just feeling good about yourself and just being open to possibilities, can create huge, huge amount of